Hey, so I want to talk about this idea of cold empathy, which is what I think narcs have. So empathy is basically the ability to know what another person is feeling, and it doesn't require compassion. Like normally when we think of empathy, we think of a compassionate healer, helper type person, and that obviously does exist. When we talk about empaths, that's usually what we're talking about. But empathy in of itself does not have compassion as a component. So Sam Vaknin calls it cold empathy, which is compassionless empathy, which is what the narcissists have. And it's been obvious to me that they have strong intuition. Like narcs definitely have a type of empathy because they can spot an empath. I don't know how they do this, but they know who is an empath, and then they will go and try to befriend them. And they know how to mirror us, the whole phase of being our Prince Charming. They know how to reel us in. They know how to make us feel like there's a connection and we're getting our needs met. They have the ability to fake it, and they know how to hurt us. They know what our weakness is somehow. Sometimes we tell them because we trust them and we tell them things, but sometimes we don't tell them and they don't know. And they seem to know exactly what to say at exactly the right moment. They know exactly the facial expression or whatever that's going to push our buttons. They know when to ignore us and that's going to hurt us. They know when to be too clingy and that's going to hurt us. Like they know when to switch the discard. They know when to do the act of kindness. They know what act of kindness is going to throw us off. They know exactly what to say when you're trying to go no contact. They know when to hoover. They seem to catch you at your weakest moment, and they know what to say in the hoover that's either going to scare you or make you want to come back. And they know how to mimic normal emotions, and they know what to say to make us think that they care about us. And they do know how to do the right thing at the right time that convinces us that they do care about us. So all of this to me demonstrates that they have some kind of intuition or cold empathy, and this is, I think, what makes people think there might be some kind of like demonic involvement. It's like maybe they are working with a demon, and the demons have like this spiritual knowledge of like what's gonna hurt us and whatnot, and they give that information to the narc. I don't know. Or Sam Vaknin did say that it just instinctual, like they just know. So narcs do have a spirituality. Like obviously it's evil, but they have abilities in the non-physical realm basically, and that's undeniable to me. Like when I think about the friends and like family members that I have and how they seem to know exactly the right thing to say and to get me to believe that they're a nice person, and then they also know exactly the right thing to say to hurt me at exactly the right time, and I'm like, how do they do this? It is spiritual warfare. Like they're not just operating in this physical realm. They have some kind of either spiritual ally like a demon, or they just have their own spiritual abilities. And I was wondering if that's what part of what makes them a match to empath is the fact that empaths with compassion, like myself, I try to have compassion, we become a match for them because we both have these spiritual abilities. And obviously I try to use mine to help people. I was using my empathy to try to help the narc, which obviously did nothing, and they're using their empathy to try to hurt me, which was obviously very effective. So maybe that's why we're a match. We like both have these kind of like spiritual abilities. I don't know. But obviously it's my job now to use my spiritual ability to detect them and then say no thank you. But this whole idea of cold empathy makes a lot of sense to me because they're not just operating from logic. I mean, some narcs are better than others. Like the sociopath type I think is like the most advanced, and then maybe there's some narcs that are like not very good at the facade and fooling you and all this stuff. Especially if they're like a drug addict, alcoholic type narc. I don't think they're really playing chess, you know, like the really scary sociopath type people are extremely calculated, and I think they probably have like very strong psychic abilities to know how to plan these elaborate things and whatnot. Oh, and the narc also knows how to triangulate people. That requires some kind of knowledge of like how humans operate and what to say to what person when, and then they're gonna say something to that person and it's gonna have that effect. Like, maybe they don't plan it, like I don't know, right? I don't know what's going on in their head, but it seems that they do have intuition about how to manipulate people, and I don't know where they get it from, if it's purely instinctual. Maybe it's an ability that all of us have. That's another theory. The ability is present in all people perhaps, but then trauma heightens the ability. So in my case, I got like heightened empathy, which is clairsentience, where you like feel things in the environment, but then I managed to hang on to compassion at the same time. So maybe what happens to narcs is that they develop clairsentience, but they lose their compassion in the process of the trauma. So maybe the trauma like actually gives them heightened abilities, but then they end up using it for evil because they lost their compassion. I don't know. That's something I was thinking about. Let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.